Hi all, good morning, good afternoon. Hope you are doing well. So in this today class, we will going to build another interesting workflow using N10 platform. Okay, so what exactly we are going to build today class? So let's talk about a small scale organization, those who are dealing with the customers on the day-to-day basis, and they are also providing the service to the customers. So once the customer will get the service, so ideally the customer will give the feedback to the you can say the service provider, right? So that feedback can be a complaint, can be a suggestion, or can be a compliment to the service provider, right? So because feedback is really needed to improve the service provider or to improve the organization, right? So these feedback, if let's assume around 5,000 customers has given this feedback to the service provider, and if someone will sit and try to manage this feedback, to segregate this feedback and to organize this feedback, it will be a very tedious task for the person, right? To avoid all such things, what we are going to do in today class, we are going to build one autonomous agent. That agent is capable enough to receive the feedback from the customers, and it will take a call. Is it a feedback, or is it a complaint, or is it a compliment, or is it a feature suggestions, you can say, right? So based on that, it will segregate all the feedback based on the categories, and it will going to store in some data source. Then only it will also communicate to the concerned team who is responsible for the feedback. Like suppose for example complaint, then complaint will be there, so we will just know the agent will capable enough to send the feedback to the complaint team. Similarly for the compliment, similarly for the feature addition request, will going to send to the developers, right? So to do all these things, the agent is capable enough to communicate with the customers, to capture the feedback, segregate the feedback, store the feedback, send the feedback to the respective department. At last also, the agent will going to send one acknowledgement email to the customers based on the feedback given to the service provider. Okay, so we will going to see the entire workflow, how that can easily done by the agent. Okay, so quickly we'll go to our N10 platform, and now you have to log into the N10 platform. Once you log into the N10 platform, then you have to click on create workflow. Once you click on create workflow, then you have to rename this workflow to customer feedback form. Okay, so once I've given this customer feedback form, then you have to click on this first step. So we have to add one trigger node, right? So if you go to my agenda here, so what we have to do, we have to going to build this agent, right? In this agent, these are the prerequisite we need. Definitely we need a LLM, okay, and we need a Google Sheet to store our data after the segregations, okay, and Slack will be the channel where the channel or the DL we can communicate to the respective department, and at last we'll use Gmail to send the acknowledgement to the customers. Okay, these are the prerequisites. Okay, then the next step is we have to go for a trigger event, then we'll go for action events, then we'll go for the integration service. Okay, now we'll go one by one. First, we'll go for the trigger event. In the trigger event, in this flow, I'm going to use on form submissions. Okay, so here you will see these are the trigger events. I'm going to use this on form submission. In this on form submission, I have to give the form name. It's called customer feedback form. Okay, and I can say the description is customer feedback form to get the feedback from customer. Okay, so then what are the details we will ask to the customers to fill this, right? I have to define it here. First of all, I'll give the name of the customer, and this is a text input and is a placeholder. Second, I want the customer email ID. Okay, then I'll put this type is email and I'll put placeholder. Then I want customer contact info, then that I can keep as a number, then I can put as a placeholder. Fine. Then the last field I want is called feedback. Okay, so feedback can be multi-lines. I will use text area and attribute is a placeholder. That's it. So I have put all these details like name, email ID, contact info, feedback. Perfect. So I'll just close this. Okay, let me test it. Is it working or not? So I'll just see. It is coming customer feedback form. Okay, and customer feedback form to get the feedback from the customers. I'll give the name. It's called Vivo, and then email ID I'll put it here. Then contact informations you can put. Then feedback I can say your app is very slow. Okay, your app is very slow. Just I'll submit it. So once I'll submit it, I'll close this form. If you see, my form is executed successfully, and these are my outputs. So if you see the output here, it's clearly captured here, right? Now the next step is, once the feedback will be sent by the user, it will come to a agent. It will come to the agent. I'll just use AI agent. Okay, in this AI agent, I'll just close this. I'll add one chart model. It's called Google Gemini chart model. So this is a third-party model. So how N10 will going to communicate? You have to establish the connection. Okay, so that connection how will establish? Please go through my previous video and you will see how to establish the connection. In my case, I have already the connection. I'm just going to select it. Okay, if I click on this, if you see, my connection is established, right? So then the model, I'll go with the default model. I'm not going to change it. I'll close this. Okay, now suppose the user will send the informations. It will come to the agent. Agent will talk with the LLM and give the response back to the customers, right? But if we will not give a good prompt to the agent, then agent will not prove that I am not capable enough to give the answers to you. So what the agent will do, it will use their intelligence to give the answers, okay, based on the informations customer has provided. So there might be a possibility of hallucination on the data, on the response given back to the customers. To avoid all such things, to give a constructive answer to the customers, we have to use a good prompt. So to do this, you have to go here. I have a prompt here. Okay, just copy paste this prompt. I will give this prompt in the description. Okay, Your role is to define the feedback filled by the customers. Okay, it can be a complaint, compliment, feature, and addition request. Okay, this is the dynamic values coming from the user. Okay, and the response can be either of one. You have to decide. Okay, just copy it and double click it here, and you have to select defined below, not the information connected chat trigger node. You have to select defined below and paste it. Once you paste it, then you close this. Okay, so let me run it again. Okay, so I will say my name is Vibhu, email ID is qtpvivu@gmail.com, contact number I can give, and I can give your app is very slow. It's just a complaint. I'll submit this. Okay, once I'll submit this, it will take the informations and start analyzing with the help of model. Okay, and it will give you a single word. Is it a complaint, or it is a compliment, or it is a suggestions? Okay, if you double click it here, see, it's just given the single word is called as complaint. Because my app is not working, definitely the LLM is smart enough, based on the prompt is given complaint. It's clear? Now what I have to do, I want to take the informations given by the user and the informations come from the AI agent. So what I have to do, I have to use one node called merge. Okay, so which will take two inputs, one input from my AI agent, which will give my single word feedback, that is called, can be a compliment, can be a complaint, or can be a feature addition request, right? And the other input will be the customer details, which will come from my on form submissions, right? So that's it, and that's why I have given the number of input is 2, and combined by, you have to select position and mode will be combined, right? So once you will do this, so to save the time, I have created rest of the flows. I'll just going to explain this what it will happen. So you, once the details come from the on submission and the agent is combined here, once it is combined, then I will give the details like my customer details, I can say my customer details along with the feed type of the feedback, is a complaint, feedback, or is a feature addition request. Based on this, I will create a branching I have to do, so that I will take a decision accordingly. So that's why I have used switch case. How will get this switch case? Just you have to go to the here, search switch. Okay, once you switch, double click here, then this window will be open up. Once this window will be open up, you have to create your routing rules. The routing rules will be the value 1 and the value 2 and the comparison operator. The value 1 would be the output which is coming from my AI agent, and it is merged, and it will be exactly my previous node will be the merge, right? The output. That one, if it is equal to complaint, then it will go to another node. If it will go is equal to complement, then it will go to another node. If it is a feature addition request, then it will go to another node. Perfect. So then my branching is done using switch case. Once my branching is done, then next what I have to do, I have to write my details, my customer feedback details in the Google Sheet. So for this, I have created a Google Sheet. If you go to my Google Sheet called customer feedback, I have created 3 sheets. One sheet for complaint, one sheet for compliment, one sheet for feature. Okay, in complaint and compliment and feature, you will find all these columns: the interaction ID, name, email ID, contact, feedback, and type. Okay, so if you see here, this name, email ID, contact, and feedback will come from the user while user is submitting the form. But this interaction ID is dynamically is going to create, and the type of the complaint or the type of the feedback will be decided by the LLM. Okay, So same for complement and same for feature. I'll back to N10 workflow here. So if I'll want to write something in my Google Worksheet, the node you have to use is called Google Sheet. Just to search Google Sheet, then you have to click on this. You will find these other sub nodes. Then you have to use the node called append row in sheet, because you have a sheet, you are just now appending the rows, right? So you have to use this. So once you use this, then you will able to see this screen. In this screen, what you have to do, this you have to use your credential to connect, because Google Sheet is a third-party system. So you have to establish the connection from N10. You have to use your credential to connect. I have already been set up the credential, so I am just going to go select it. Then the operation will be append row. Then I have to select the customer feedback. You will find there are a lot of worksheet, but you have to select the correct worksheet is customer feedback. And I want to select the complaint, because I want to write the data in the complaint sheet, right? Then I have used this small syntax to create the dynamic ID for my customers, interaction ID, that is called, right? So I have used one string and appending with one of the timestamp to create the unique ID. The ID will be looks like this. Okay, then the name, email ID, contact, all other informations will be come from my switch, or come from my switch, or come from my merge, also come from my on some submission and AI agents. Okay, so you have to just use all these details. So I would recommend you always take the variable from the previous node. Okay, then once you set it, then close this. Same you can do for complement. Here you have to select the complement sheet. Rest of the things will be exactly same, nothing you have to do. Same you have to do for feature addition. So here you have to just select the feature sheet, and the rest of the field will be remain same, right? Perfect. So once the branching will happen based on the feedback type, then it will go to the respective sheet and write it, right? If it is a complaint, it will go to the complaint sheet and write. If it is a complement, it will go to the complement sheet and write. Same for features, it will go to the feature sheet and write. Once the data has been written inside my Google Sheet, then my next step is I have to use another switch. Why I am going to use another switch, I'll tell you. Okay, so here if you double click here, I'm going to use one condition. Okay, again just to branch it. Again I want to just to branch it. If it is a complaint, complement, or feedback. Okay, if you want, you no need to use also, that is not at all required, because instead of connecting this all three node to a switch, again you are branching it, better to directly connect your Excel to your communication channel. That will be also completely fine, right? So but in this case I have just connected all the node to a switch case. Then again I am branching using my feedback type. If it is a complaint, if it is a complement, or if it is a feature addition request, then what I am going to do, I have integrated with another application that is called Slack. Slack is just like a communication channel, or just like Microsoft Teams. Okay, where you will going to communicate. Okay, so any informations, just a chat window, right? So here what I am going to do, if it is a complaint, so I am going to send a message to a complaint team. There will be a complaint department, right? There will be a group in for the complaint department. I am going to send a message to the complaint department with the complaint details. Similarly for complement, similarly for, you can say, feature addition request, right? Then once I send all these details, how will get this? Just go here, just write Slack. Okay, once you write Slack, then here you will find the details of the Slacks, like there are create a channel, get the channel, the lot of informations are here there, right? So you have to send a message, you have to use send a message, right? You have to send a message, you have to use it. Once you click on the send message, and this window will be open up like this. Okay, and here Slack account, you have to establish the connection. As I told, this is also a third party application. So how exactly the N10 will going to communicate? It's using credential. Okay, so you have to establish the connection. So once you establish the connection, resource will be the message, operation will be the send operation you are going to perform, and the message to send message to whom you want to send the message. I want to send a message to the channel, because in Teams there is a channel you can communicate. Similarly in Slack there is a channel for the complaint department, for feature addition request department called developers, for feedback department or for compliments, complaint, feedback, there will be separate channels, right? So you have to select channels here, and here you have to provide the channel name. So if you see in my Slack, these are my channels. So one of the channels I have to provide it here. If I'll go to my Slack channel here, you just simply go to Google, create an account, then your channel, your Slack account will be create. So here inside this I can create the channel. You can also create the channel by click on add channels. So I have created a channel called one is all hyphen abbcreation. Similarly for complaint, compliment, features, right? I'll back to the N10 workflow. So I have select my channel here. Then I'll send the message type is just a simple text message, informal message, and I will put the message what exactly I'm going to send to my complaint department. I can say username is this, okay, which is coming from the variable. Email ID is this, coming from variable. Feedback is this, okay, which is coming from variable. Okay, I will show you in a minute so how exactly looks like. Similarly you can do for feedback complaint, you can do for feedback compliment, you can do for the feedback feature addition request. Perfect. If you see here, this is feature, and if you see here, this is compliment. Okay, perfect. So once you communicate to the channel, to the respective department based on the feedback given by the customer, then only you have to send an acknowledgement email to customers saying that yes, we have received your complaint, you have received your compliment, we have received your feature addition request. So we are working on this, we'll get you updated soon, right? That kind of acknowledgement we are going to send back to the customers. So that I have used in Gmail node. So I will get that Gmail node. You have to go here, just search Gmail. Okay, just search Gmail here, and then you will find there are a lot of sub nodes. Here you have to use send message Gmail. Once you click on this, then you will be able to see this node. Okay, here you have to same Gmail is a third party account, so you have to connect from N10. You have to create the credential, and the resource will be the message, operation will be send, and two, you have to define the email ID given by the user to whom you want to going to send the mail, right? You have to define the email ID, and you can say thanks for your complaint. Okay, because that this node is connected to a complaint, that's why clearly I have mentioned that is thanks for your complaint. And the body you can write whatever you want to write, it's completely up to you. Hi, the username I have given, comma, we have taken your complaint to our notice and our team is working on this. We shall get back to you what exact the update. Okay, this is thank you so much for bringing to our notice. We have really value our customers and complaint feedback matters. The customer support team I have given. Same I have done for compliment, but in the compliment I will not say we are working on this. We will say hi username, thanks for your valuable feedback. We will really appreciate for your honest feedback, right? Same thing for the feature addition request. So if you see the feature addition request, I have given here thanks for your feature addition request. Team is working on this, on the future enhancement. Once the feature will be deployed in the production environment, we will let you know soon for testing. Perfect. So I have integrated the Gmail also, right? Once the entire flow is created, so let's assume customers fill the details, okay, and the detail will come to directly go to the merge node. Along with that, it will send the details to LLM, right? In LLM I have used the prompt. Okay, if you see this prompt, so that it will give me a constructive response. Okay, if you see clearly I have mentioned you read the entire feedback given by the user, but I want a response only in a single word. Is a complaint or is a compliment or is a feature addition request. Okay, this clearly I mentioned in the prompt. Okay, so I have given the feedback here. I'm sorry, I have given the prompt here using defined below. Once I got the output from my agent, is a complaint, feedback or compliment, I got the detail from here, then I'll merge it, then I'll do a branching here based on the complaint, compliment or feature. I'll store the data in the Google Sheet, then I'll again merge it and branching it. But if you want, you can directly, instead of doing this, you can directly connect this is not at all required, this switch case. Okay, so you can do this also, right? Same thing you can do for complement, same thing you can do for features. Then it will communicate to the Slack channel. Okay, in the Slack channel it will communicate to the respective department, then at final it will send the message to the customers. Okay, so that's it for today. I'll just show you the channel how it looks like, the complaint and feedback. If you go to the complaint here, if you see the complaint department, it will come like username is Bibu, email ID is this, feedback is my phone is hitting while using your app, complaint. Okay, then same for the compliment. If you see username is Sundar, email ID is this, feedback your app is is so good. Okay, same thing for the feature. If you see here username is Vivo, email ID is this, feedback please script writing feature in your app, please add script writing feature in your app, right? So this is how you have to communicate. You have to send the email. If you want, I will show you one of the emails how it was looks like. Let me go to my mailbox, let me open. Yeah, so yeah, if you see here, this is one of the complaint I got. Okay, this is one of the complaint. If you see, thanks for your complaint. Hi Sundar, we have taken your complaint to our notice. We are working on this. We shall get back to you with the exact update. Thank you so much for bringing to our notice. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Same thing, you can see complaint. You can see the compliment also. You can see, no, you can see compliment. You can complain. You can also similarly you can get the feature addition request also. So that's it for today. So I would suggest you can just try to build it and try to execute it, so then you will get more idea about how exactly you can build the automation workflows. So thank you all, bye bye, see you in the next class. Bye for now, keep on learning, never stop learning.